Peace.
Awesome. Oh, here we have Bernard Curry coming to join us. Hello. I'm sure.
Hi, Bernie.
To the girls.
Hello, everyone.
I'm sure everybody knows Bernie from Australian television and also from his latest role as Jake on Wentworth. And so this is a bit of a different character for you on Sonia and Cherry. So this in the next episode, it's called Perfect Dad. So we would like you to tell us in a few words why you're so perfect.
Well, I don't know why. I don't know if I am perfect. I know that nobody's
that guy is hot,
except for Perfect Dad. No, but even we'll see. He even Perfect Dad has a flaw or two. But Vic approached me a little while ago and said, "I've got this role that you'd be perfect for, and the role is Perfect Dad." And I'm like, "Oh well, normally I'm getting cast as the villain or the romantic lead, but Perfect Dad, that's it's kind of working for the stage of my career that I'm at now. I'm starting to get roles as dads and that sort of stuff. But I was very flattered that Vic thought that I had the chops to pull off Perfect Dad, and he's just it's sort of meant to be kind of a little bit sickening that he's like this guy who's always got a packet of wipes handy, and he's like, his kid's a violin prodigy, and he's got he's taking lessons all the time and stuff like that, and you're kind of like, oh God, tell me more, But it was great fun, like really fun. It was great.
Yeah, awesome. Petra, can you tell us a little bit about the next episode?
Sure. So the next episode is Perfect Dad, which introduces Bernie's character, Perfect Dad. Perfect Dad is kind of represents that parent who just appears to be nailing it in stark contrast to whatever you're trying to pull off in your real life. And it's also Sonia's foray into the dating world.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
Okay. Right. I'm going to seamlessly remove us from here and
like on Bewitched, I might do this.
Okay, here we go, folks.
Ready, one. Yes. Better stories, hey? Excellent. Well done, team. Well done. So, Petra, it seems that Sonia's not interested in Perfect Dad until she finds out he's an alcoholic. Hey, so what's she actually looking for in a relationship?
Look, I don't think Sonia is looking for a real relationship. I think she's in complete denial about the life stage that she's at, and is kind of imagining she's going to have this very hot and passionate affair with a rock star, completely.
She's waiting for something better.
Yeah, like she's not going to meet whatever her fantasy version is at the playground, and at her stage in life. It's just not going to happen. So, she doesn't have a hope. Yeah.
Love it. So, Bernie, you're a father of 2 boys.
Yes.
Have you met any real-life perfect dads? And what actually is the reality of being a dad in 2021?
Oh, I don't know if I have met anyone quite like Perfect Dad. But it's interesting how, Vic was saying before, it's about, you see people's kind of who they really are after having gone through the experience of being a parent, and the changes that kind of that you have to make in your life, so it's kind of the whole parenting kind of thing is just is sort of so transformative, you know what I mean? And it's kind of people just it's such a challenge to kind of to get through it. And now I've forgotten what the second part of the question was. What was it again?
This was what's the reality of being a father in 2021?
That's right. So parenting, I think, has changed so much since our parents were doing their thing with us. And I'm very old, so it's a long time ago. But I think particularly for the male in the relationship, I think the dynamic that for the father in a family has changed from that kind of very patriarchal sort of archetype to one who is much more involved in rearing the children, and it's being, I think it's the important part about it is the teamwork that you have with your partner. And then if you're doing it by yourself, obviously with Perfect Dad, he's doing it by himself. But then the modern parent is a very different kind of situation to what it used to be. So I like to think my parenting style is fairly modern, and I'm really involved with my kids' upbringing, and my wife Sonia, whose name is Sonia, and I have a great sort of teamwork that we get through the challenges of having kids. Two boys. My boys are 9 and 11 years old, and
wow,
it has been a real challenge, but at the same time, that sort of, it can bring you closer together. Sometimes it can push you further apart, but it also, I think it has galvanized us as a couple,
Oh, that sounds like a nice household, actually. I like that household.
Never a dull moment, I can tell you that.
I'm sure. So we're going to show you the last episode now, and then come back for a bit more of a chat. The 6th episode in season 2 is called Fuck the Turtles. So I'll bring Victoria in to introduce this episode.
Thanks, Jolene. And we actually had one question from the audience, which I'll quickly answer now because it's a good one. I'll just pop it up here on the screen. So Travis wants to know, what sort of advice can we give to other filmmakers trying to get their work made? The answer to this, is really you kind of have to make your own stuff on your own without any money. And whichever way you can. And people have given me that piece of advice, and you're always a bit like, oh, really, is that what I have to do? But I've spent the last 15 years really sort of working a job, full time and raising children, and then scrounging around, a couple of hours on the weekend, or getting up early before work and writing, and just slowly plugging away.
Because you've been a writer pretty much your whole life. I remember meeting you over 10 years ago, and you were always writing.
Yes, yeah, always writing. Just never really paid for it. But yeah, no, I've always been a writer, and really, really love it. But the other thing is, which is maybe not such an obvious one, is once you do start getting things made, treat people well. The people that are helping you make stuff, treat them well and look after them, because they'll come back and they'll be really excited to help you with your next project. And we had people work on Sonia and Cherry that worked on the short film that Naomi and I made like a decade ago. And it's so nice to be able to bring, those people back, even though it's a decade later, as creative collaborators. So yeah, that's
a good piece of advice. Very good piece of advice.
So episode 6, let's get cracking. You may have noticed we made a stylistic and somewhat practical choice in the series to not have children on screen, so you hear their dialogue off screen, and you've heard a little bit of that, but it's probably more evident in the other episodes that we'll release tomorrow. But this is our last episode. It's a kids' party, so we decided we needed to see the kids. So we had about 10 mostly 4-year-old children, and hopefully we've got quite a few of their parents on in the audience tonight, and thank you again for bringing your children along and being part of the show. I have to give Bernie massive props, because as you'll see in the episode, he had a key role in corralling those children, which wasn't necessarily in the job description. And of course he was amazing. He was perfect dad. perfect dad. So let's
We're going to introduce Sonia's au pair. She knew in this episode, but yes, stay tuned for her.
Okay, here we go.
Over to you. You disappeared out the back for a while, so we've got you back. We've seen 3 of the 6 episodes, and so what can we expect to see in the remaining episodes?
Oh, there she is.
Sorry, I was.
There she is.
Unmuting right. Yes. Okay. So, so we've seen Smashed Crab, Perfect Dad, and Fuck Turtles. And there are another 3 episodes to complete the season. So episode 2, which is called Shapewear. And this episode highlights the unflattering aftermath of pregnancy and birth, but also explores how parents of young children can often feel judged for their parenting approaches. Episode 4 is called Shove It Up Your Ass. Pretty succinct. It's a snapshot of Terry going postnatal, and it's caused by the fact that she feels she's failing to achieve her goals of attachment, parenting, and exclusive breastfeeding. And then episode 5 is called Wife Swap. And here we see Sonia and Cherry both take a walk in each other's shoes for a little while, so that in order for them to actually come to a better understanding of each other.
Boom. Well done. They are all equally funny, and you're going to be able to see them, I think, tomorrow night. All 6 episodes will be available tomorrow night for you to have a look at. But we've actually got a special treat for our guests tonight. So we've decided to make episode 1 live right now once this live feed finishes, and you can share it on social media. And we'd love your support, and there should be a YouTube address coming across the screen. Hopefully there it is. So you can share Smashed Crab right now, and we would love you to do that. We'd love to get so many people coming in and tuning into the series. And we've got one final question for Victoria, which I've been wanting to know as well. What's next for you and Naomi?
Before I answer that, I also would like to point out the fancy QR code at the top right of the screen, which you can
yes.
This is the crowning achievement of my day today. And right on brand, we have a 4-year-old joining us. So you can scan the QR code with your phone, and that will take you straight to that first episode, so you can share it straight away. What's next?
How do you know how to do all this? It's amazing.
It was pretty easy. Hang on 1 second. Not quite sure where my husband is, but anyway. What's next?
Here's one coming here as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They're all
perfect timing.
I know. Look, Naomi and I. Yeah, and I thought if someone turned around to us and said we could do more Sonia and Cherry, we'd of course take them up on that offer. And we've got a bunch of other stuff we're working on. I love comedy and drama equally, so we've got a range of things we're doing. So hopefully we'll get some of that stuff going soon.
Well, perfect. This is why it's important for people to share it, because everybody needs to see this show. It's so good. Oh, these beautiful faces. Congratulations to everybody. I think that's the end of the launch.
I think that is it. And wow, yeah.
It's time. It's witching hour. Feed me.
I did not set this up. There's a whole lot of people on this. Okay.
So thank you for joining the launch. And don't leave a wine. You've earned it.
I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks, Jolene.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Congrats.